Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is The Accidental Czar, The Life and Lies of Vladimir Putin. This is a graphic novel I've been excited and pumped to talk about and do a review of. It's good. It's really, really good. It's written by Andrew S. Weiss and then art by Brian Box-Brown. So Andrew Weiss is really interesting in his perspective of doing this. So he served in a lot of policy roles at the National Security Council, State Department, Pentagon, during both Democratic and Republican administrations. Basically, he has a degree and focus in foreign policy, particularly Russia. So he's really big on the subject matter, and this is a person who advised the United States government through, I would say maybe decades, about Russia and was there firsthand for many events, which is really, really interesting to get that perspective. Earlier this year, there was another graphic novel that came out about Vladimir Putin. While I thought that did a really good job of giving some background about him and some of his history and proclivities, that graphic novel had some bias to it. It was very, very... It had an agenda. This, on the other hand, I feel like does not have an agenda. This is more focused on history and facts and events. But what's interesting is Weiss throws in his experience through it. And why I actually really, really enjoy this is Weiss admits their screw-ups. It's not just a focus on Vladimir Putin and his rise to rule Russia and rule with an iron fist. It's also a condemnation on the West and how they didn't take him seriously, that they played him wrong, that they engaged him wrong, that they screwed up hardcore. And I think multiple times throughout this, Weiss in his roles admitted, "Oh, we got that wrong." To me, that is one, props to him. Like, that's really, really, really gutsy to do. But two, also for me, ups the trustworthiness of it. That becomes a graphic novel that's not just one-sided. It's not just there with an agenda. You know, when someone's sitting there and being like, "Oh yeah, no, we messed this one up," like they're admitting like their faults to it. Like, it becomes a bit more trustworthy if someone said, "No, I screwed up on this." I feel like you can trust them a bit more, and to me, it's really, really interesting. It's a solid read. It goes from his early life, fairly recently. It takes you to about the Ukraine invasion, and I think like it lays out the facts really well. There's a lot of history about Russia in it itself and the Soviet Union and what preceded it. A lot kind of setting not just like Putin, but also the world he grew up in and kind of the society he grew up in, which is really interesting. There's a lot of small little details that are pointed out that kind of explain how he's able to do what he does. It also explains a lot of what he does as well, the psychology, the way he frames things. It gets really, really interesting. Like, out of everything I've read, I feel like this is an excellent graphic novel that is very even, that is very level-headed, and very probably close to the truth and reality of how things are. The art itself is solid. I mean, Box-Brown is a great artist, and a great writer too. He has his style. It's kind of cartoonish in a way, not in a bad way. Like, I'm not knocking it at all. But he has a style to him. I think that what's interesting is, you even with this style, you know who is who. Like, you get a good sense of who Putin is, like Yeltsin, American people, like all of it. Like, here we get George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, very recognizable in Brown's style. So overall, I think this is a very, very educational graphic novel, and it's a very trustworthy graphic novel about the topic itself. So if you want to kind of learn about Putin, to me this is a really solid spot to start and go from there. Like I think the only thing that is in the other graphic novel that's not in this, that the other one kind of focuses on a little bit of the kleptocracy about it. This one doesn't quite have that as much of focus of Putin's wealth and how much he's actually worth and has basically stolen. That's really the only difference between the two. This one goes into much more depth with a lot of detail, more so between between Russia and Putin and the rest of the world. This has a bit more focus on that because that obviously is a pretty big driver of things. So out of the two, I highly recommend it. To me, this is one of the best graphic novels I've read this year, and is absolutely fantastic. This is a great example of using graphic novels to record history, graphic journalism, whatever you want to call it. Out now in bookstores, out in comic shops soon. You can go get this. We've got a link underneath this video. Open your zip code, tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage by doing that. You'll support our site, so thank you. And speaking of support, I want to thank First Second for hooking us up with the review copy. Thank you all for watching. If you are into graphic novels, if you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.